Conversation is probably the most powerful thing we have in the world, but yet we still underrate it so much in so many ways. There's a lot of situations where people say they have things that were left unsaid, and I tend to think, why not say them? And I get that it comes from a fear in a certain way, but conversations is the best way we are going to ever be able to communicate. When you talk to someone, you tend to learn more about them. I know we make assumptions based off what we see from someone or maybe a slight tendency they may have. But then when we actually have a conversation with them, we see that they're completely different from this idea that we've built in our head. Assumptions are great because they can eventually work out, but at the same time, you're only going to actually get to know someone if you speak to them. I'm going to learn interest from certain people that tend to speak because that's what you learn. I learned that certain people like different kinds of snacks or different kinds of chips that I don't like, or they like this certain movie for a certain reason, and then sometimes they even realize that they're a lot smarter than I thought they were. It's just something in the end that can help us build better connections as human beings. And also, when you talk to someone, you have to be vulnerable enough to allow them to get to know you, and vice versa. Because if you're not vulnerable at all when talking, you're going to build up these walls, and you're not actually going to allow someone to know the real you. And that's something that a lot of us all do. We don't let people in because that's something we just don't like to do. Because it's scary to let people in, and I understand that. But when you actually let someone in and they actually show the effort that they do want to get to know you, it's one of the best feelings ever. Because you're getting closer and closer to being as understood as you possibly can. That's just one thing that really does make the world great. And a family just passed me by driving while I was talking in this video a bit ago. And I could assume that they probably think I'm some weird guy just talking in front of a camera in this random parking lot at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. And that's probably exactly what they think. But maybe if we actually had a conversation, they'd understand why I'm talking about this and they'd actually grasp what I'm saying. And then maybe they think that it's actually not as weird what I'm doing. And that's just the power of a conversation. When we have these misunderstandings in life, no matter who it's between, they usually are fixed out with words. People tend to want to talk it out, no matter what really is the case. And that just shows how simple one-on-one human talking can change so much in people's lives.